Alright, how's it going, guys? Oh, it actually went nice. Um, I got in on an NYT on a Discord app. I posted right here that I'm shorting NYT at 38.97. That was 2 minutes ago, and it's kind of going right now. Let me just go ahead and show you why I chose it right here. Okay. Edit properties, make it a little bit thicker for you guys to see. Alright. It's going right now, but it's a stock. You never know where it's going to go. But this is what I see on the daily. It has some really good news. Right here it says they raised the target price to $40 from $35. So it's trying to get to $40. And it's doing a really good job today. Daily going down to 15-minute. This is what I see, how it's exponentially moving up like this. And you can see a bit of a rise in volume. Not much, but let me just exaggerate it. You can see it like this. And lately I've been really liking using the VWAP here. And if I go into the 1 minute, you can see how it's outside the band and it's bouncing off the outside of the band. Now it's inside the band. So that kind of tells me it may want to stay inside the band. The VWAP is 3761, the purple line. Hey, how's it going, Lindsay? Hey, Jorge. Sorry I butchered your name last time. It's not George, but I think it's the same thing, right? Let's see. And of course I usually use the moving average. So again, this is the VWAP. It was outside the band. Now it's inside the band. So it has a potential to go down, maybe? Maybe? I like to bunch things up, as you guys know. This thing kind of really likes to follow along the VWAP rules. Like it hit the band, it tested the band, finally broke out the band, now it's going through the band. These are all just ways of trying to figure out if you're reaching or not, So I got in at 38.97. So basically, from the high, it's 40 cents away, and on this 5-minute chart, it can go down to 38.7. So we'll see what's going to happen. Right now, I'm more or less breaking even. This is not like I posted on the Discord app. It's not ideal because it doesn't have that shape that I usually look for. So it's not ideal. Just trying something different here. So we'll see what happens here, because it's not, usually I look for something that's really skyrocketing, that's really parabolic, shooting straight up, and then finding an entry for its descent. But this one's kind of like, it kind of reset here, and yeah, so it's not the prettiest. Actually, it's pretty damn ugly. But the issue about the VWAP kind of gets me. Lately, that's what I've been seeing. Like when it's outside the band, and once it goes through the band, it may test it, but it takes a lot of effort for it to pop back out. So I'm thinking it may just want to stay inside the band and come back down. That's the theory. And maybe come back down to 38s around here, and then maybe try its attempt back to 40. A lot of times if the target price of $40 is practical, what I generally see is it may go for 40, or throughout the entire day of the stock market, it may approach 40 and then it'll reset itself, and then it may just like shoot for 40 at the last 30 minutes. Something like that. Day of. Forgot to send the Discord app. Okay. I generally just post a link so some people can, newer people can go on to the Discord if they wanted to follow along. Hey CJ, you using options? What delta good? I don't do options, unfortunately. It seems to be the thing right now. That's what that's what I see on the advertisements on YouTube. They're always trying to tell you, what's that one? I don't know. There's a whole bunch of loudmouths. I shouldn't say it that way. They're extroverts. So this is what I got at the poll so far. If the intro program on the TradeNet would be beneficial for beginners, and 33 voted, 94% yes. So right now I'm negotiating with TradeNet. Negotiating as in they don't want to sell me the intro account. They just want to give me the student account. And I'm trying to tell them exactly why I want the intro account. And so they're sitting on it. They said they're going to talk to their people, and we'll see if we can do it. Very likely, they're trying to sell me the student account, which doesn't quite fit the reason, the criteria of why I'm trying to get the TradeNet account for the beginners. So if anything, I can ask them for a demo account in which I want them to set the cap at 14,000, and of course I'll just try to keep it within the parameters of the intro account, meaning that. But of course, when I do that, then a lot of students will think, well, there's no real skin in the game, and that really makes a difference to beginners if they're trying to like emulate what I'm doing. But to me, there really is a difference between paper trading and real trading, surprisingly. You'd be surprised. I don't know if it's just me, but when I test things out, and I think that is, and I know my new, if I'm trying out a new strategy, so to speak, and I test it out and it seems like it's working really well, it has a high percentage of success rate, then when I actually start paper trading it, so I guess there's different levels of paper trading, right? First you test it out, paper trading, but then I still test it out, paper trading, but I'm already fortified. Even once I'm fortified and I know that my strategy works and I paper trade it, I still feel the stress. There really isn't much of a difference between that and actual trading with money, because crazy as it sounds, it's all still a game. I don't think of it as money. I think of it as the end result, the goal of doing the right thing. That's about it. John says paper trading is emotionless. That makes it so much easier to do. Yeah, it is. For some people, it is. For me, not so much. I guess I have a really good imagination. So, Yeah. Some people like John, when it comes to paper trading, well, that's what I've always been preaching, right? Ever since I created this stream, um, I start to realize that the easy part is finding your strategy. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's not that easy. But once you understand your own personality and then have it in sync with the market and you find something that works for you, once you do that and you find something you're comfortable with, then the hard part is the psychology, how to handle the stress level, right? And then once you're able to handle the stress, actually, you never are able to handle the stress. There's no cap on the amount of being completely emotionless because we're all human, you know. So yeah, I guess John, you're right in that aspect. Paper trading is emotionless and makes it so much easier. But to me, I'm able to throw in some emotion. I'm able to actually feel it because when it fails, I get pretty pissed because I spent all that effort trying to make it work right and then it didn't work, at least for that moment. So then I have to test it again and again. That's what I mean by there's always emotions involved with paper trading for me. And then the more initiated you're into trading itself, then then there's less and less emotion, and then you can actually start scaling in and using scaffolding your education and adding more shares in as you accrue more profit. That's the right way to do it. I'm not an advocate of those people um, that are hype. You know, they're hype beasts. They try to hype things up. They're real. I don't know how to explain it, but you know those people. In fact, that's the irony of people trying to sell you um, their chat rooms. They're always so hyper, you know? The last thing I want is someone that hyper trying to talk about trading or else trying to follow someone so hyper because it starts messing with your own emotions. So if you ever look at like an interview for somebody who works at Wall Street, they don't the way I see it is a lot of them are real calm demeanored. It takes a lot for them to be excitable. But then when you look at YouTube and you see all those commercials of people or people talking about trading, they're so excited. Like Timothy Sykes, he's one of them. I'm sure he's a good trader. Obviously, he was back then. But wow, whenever I hear someone talk like that, it just turns me right off because they sound like car salesmen. You know, I don't want someone trying to sell me anything. And if you're ever that hyper when to trade, you may want to back off a little bit off the caffeine because you need to be less. You need to be more emotionless. At least that's the way I see it. Let me know what you think. But that's my interpretation of how to become a more successful trader, I think. Mario asks, "What's going on, Mario? What do you think of the course Stelios Steliano?" Obviously, I never heard of him, so I don't know. I've had someone named Dewey ask me about the Stephen Dukes. He's that young guy that became filthy rich off. I think he was under the apprentice. He's apprenticing underneath Timothy Sykes because he's short. He's short biased, kind of like me. Not that I tried to be short biased. It just ended up that way. Um, and he does those really cheap stocks. I don't know if he still does them. Um, I think that's a really good question to ask someone like him. If he had the money, would he still do pennies? Because a lot of them don't. They start going into small and mid caps, or even large caps. I didn't answer your question, did I? I don't know who he is, um, and I should look into the courses, but I'm not. I don't want to be one of those people that want to diss anybody. If it works for them, it works, and it works for you, then awesome. It's like I said, it's really dependent on your own personality. So if you ask me about somebody's course, I'll look them up. But of course, you have to take it with a grain of salt because I'm really set in my way. So if somebody comes up to me and tries to tell me I should look into this, it's hard. It's like asking Timothy Sykes the same thing. Look into that. Why? Why should I? Because this works. John says, if you never lost, then you never reach your full potential. I see it as a game too, but still, real losses hurt so much more than you realize you could have bought that or that for it. Yeah, I see what you're getting at. Losses hurt. Um, Back in the days before I was married, I was a hardcore gamer. So I used to play something called Diablo before World of Warcraft, and there was a setting called hardcore, meaning you would spend months leveling up a character in this RPG game, and if you die once, he's dead forever. That that to me is a real loss. All that time and effort you spent, and I was at a point where I was making a couple of $1,000s off eBay selling items off this RPG. So losing having a character like that die could really mess with your head. And that to me is directly translated over to stocks. Um, Losing really pisses me off. Just put it that way. So if you ever played a game that hardcore, then to me there really isn't that much of a difference. Um, but money is money, and losing your house is losing your house. I get that. So good point, John. Hiko says Mario stock lock is not for everyone. I purchased this last year. I'm still not profitable. Mario. Oh, he's talking to Mario, I think. Stock lock isn't for everybody. Um, Alex says he paper trades on Discord and sells courses. It's on a $600,000. I guess this guy's pretty popular, eh? That's why he wins. Alex says, by the way, what's going on, Alex? That's why his wins are sometimes over 20 grand. Yeah, that's another thing all y'all gotta understand that a lot of these people that you're following, well, you're following them because they're rich, right? So they flaunt it enough for you guys to believe that they're successful. But it takes a lot for them to fall down from the hill, the mountain they're at. So they can teach you all they want. They can make money off people and still stay up there, regardless of their percentage rate, their success rate. That's what my dad always told me. It's like, why would you follow somebody? Why would someone ever teach you if they're filthy rich? Why would they bother? It's just a waste of their time. Real successful people don't are greedy people. That's what my dad would believe. And he's old school like that, right? So he would always tell me, don't teach anybody because they're not going to believe you anyways if you sell it. And then I'm like, you're right. That's why I'm not selling anything. But it's the irony in life, right? You gotta flaunt things. You gotta flex how much money you have to believe what you got. But it's always that one Chinese guy that dresses like my dad, that dresses like a homeless guy, that haven't bought clothes for the past 10 years. He only wears his favorite clothes, and he's rich. The dude is pretty. I shouldn't say rich. He's very comfortable. So it's not about how you, even with stocks, it's not about how much money you spend on your Lambo. It's how much money you save in order to trade larger. Um, John says I can totally relate since the Atari. Okay, John, you're really dating yourself now. But yeah, I had the Atari um, when I was a kid. That wooden box. Rumpelstiltskin, are the TradeNet courses good and profitable since they are including when you sign up to their account? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I'm sure it's just like Mir Burok's, and that's that 3 bar trading strategy. I mean, he looks for a retracement in the morning and then the drop, or the opposite direction. Just coming back a little bit and then going. It's very fast, and if it goes, it goes. Um, so I don't do that kind of trade. Looks like my trade is going okay. I should talk more. um, CJ asks, you on student or pro program? How many shares are you using in risks? I'm not using TradeNet at the moment. I used Lightspeed, and the charting that you see right here is Thinkorswim. I'm just I'm trying to use the intro account for the beginner traders that don't want to spend $2,700 after the promo code. Um, but after talking to them, they don't want me to do the intro account. So I need to see what's going to happen. I would never use the pro program. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Uh, I just don't see I see the student program to be ideal because you have an $80,000 buying power, and that's really close to the $100,000. You can make good profits off $80,000 buying power. That's why I like TradeNet for what it has. Hugo says, "Oh, can't read it." Lindsay says, "True." Lou, how's it going, Lou? How's the day trading going so far? Pretty good. This is the only trade I've done so far. I just woke up and I saw Beam was going crazy. BEAM. The lady on my trade ideas was just yelling at me every second for a while. Looks like this. I can't even read it. If you look in the daily, it's all the way down on the ground right here. The candle's so big in relation to all the other candles, you can't even see it. So it just turns me off when I see something like that. And it looks like it probably was halted because I can't even get back past this past 11:14. So I'm not even looking at that. I need to see pictures. I'm a picture kind of guy. So I'm just in NYT right now. This is the VWAP, and I got in at the red line. This is a different kind of trade, so I'm not trading heavy because generally I like to see something spike all the way up and go parabolic with a nice amount of volume. This one is just, it's outside the VWAP band and it came inside the VWAP band, so I want to see how low it'll go. The past few weeks I've been looking at this and it looks pretty promising the way it goes. Here's the moving average exponential. Let's go to the 5-minute. So it already hit the 5-minute. That's generally the 9 EMA, the 5-minute. I'm always talking about this as my primary target, but in this case, I'm looking a little bit further here, because from where I entered and the high is 40 cents away. So generally, at least get a 1-to-1 ratio, right? As in a 40-cent risk to a 40-cent possible win, possible win. I never go that greedy and just say I'm gonna wait till that exact moment. It all depends on how it's gonna move, and so far, it's going pretty good. What I would just do now, since this is not my typical kind of trade, is just find from here. It broke down past this area right here. See how it was supported in this area and it broke down? I'm just going to hold my breath as long as I can and see how far it goes. If it comes back up, then I'm just going to sell. And then I learned my lesson. But right now I'm doing okay. If it pops up pretty hard, I'll be out. In fact, I should type that right now in the Discord. Covered NYT. So hopefully at 38 something. Turf says Beam is an IPO. The old data is from 2014. Ah, thank you. Guys, Turf is also, if I'm correct, Turf, you're on the Discord as well, right? Knowledgeable guy. It's always good to have friends around. But at least people won't let me see Beam today for some reason. Yeah. That's one reason why shouldn't. Whenever a platform blocks you from something, like not tradable, it's probably a good idea. Some people have multiple platforms just to get around, but whenever a broker like says no, don't trade it, it's probably a good idea to listen to them. Yeah, I figure so, Turf. You should PM me. I need to know your real name. I feel strange calling you Turf. It just reminds me of AstroTurf, like the lawn turf. No offense if that is your real name. I'm just um my head is always stuck on the dog facility, and one of the things in the dog facility that I'm trying to use is artificial grass, because it just lasts longer. So I spent months and months trying to find the right AstroTurf, which is, you know, symbolic, I guess, based on Houston Astros. I guess they're one of the first people that used artificial grass. And it needs to have good drainage. It needs to have. There's a lot of science behind it, man. It's just not just fake grass anymore. CJ asks, you have a profit target? Not really. I have a profit loss target, meaning I need to check myself if things go horribly wrong. Um, that's a horrible spike right there. I should look further. Hold on 1 second. Let's go to the 5 minute. So you see that? You see it's creating somewhat of a bull flag here. A bull flag is whenever it starts consolidating downwards like this. And they call it a bull flag because bull means going long, right? Going up. Bear is going down. So it's creating this, and it can shoot back through. So I need to be pretty careful here. It definitely needed to break down. If it doesn't, then I'm out. And it's okay. I mean, this is kind of testing, but not really. This is something I've been seeing for a while now. the predictability, that is. That's good. Just come back down. And then just go back through. And then, you know, hold your breath some longer. Nice. Okay. So just based on what I see here, how it likes to go in between the VWAP and the upper band, right now it's right in between, right? So I'm not going to be greedy here. I'm just going to get out pretty soon. Well, not that soon. Damn it. It went from 40 to 60 on the ask. So wait a while. There we go. Okay. Making sure my level 2s are the same on both of them. Sometimes they're like off by a split second. I like that 7 there on the ask. No, it broke through. I like that 5 on the 51. Let's see if it can... It didn't hold. It really looks like it's gonna go down though. Yeah, it keeps rallying. Look at all that volume now that's coming in. That's good. I like that volume. See that volume there? Great. Okay. It's probably gonna go to VWAP, but I'm out. 38.42. And you know, somebody, just because I cover doesn't mean shit. Now they're gonna demonetize this video because of that. I said that. I'm always out a little too early, but it's always better to. I feel more comfortable knowing that I lost, you know, the opportunity, but at least I won overall. Ideally, the whole idea was just to be at least a 1-to-1 ratio, right? Because if you're 40 cents away from the high, which is pretty much your stop initially, at least you should be 40 cents away from your actual you know, green area. Right, it's 12 o'clock. I think that's it for the stream because I got Jesse, the 110-pound Labrador, the famous dog, coming in today. He is crazy. He is a handful, but he's a lot of fun. If you guys know anything about Labradors, they're like the dog's dog. You know, they're just always smiling. It always makes your day. I mean, if you're a dog person, nobody hates a Labrador. Thanks, RG. CJ asks, how do you track your draw on TradeNet? Intro program has 700 lost draw. Yeah, that's the tricky part about the intro. I don't have any problems with the 14,000 because oftentimes I do trade with that much buying power. If it's like a $15 stock, you can do some damage with 14,000, but you need to be sure that your stop loss isn't that too far away that it can like wash you out. But generally, I never trade more than like, depending on the way it looks, I'll never really go past $500 stop loss or potential risk. And ideally never over 200. That's why my chart is ouch. My chart rarely ever goes over the 200, my stop loss. So I have all the numbers I need to know how many shares, if I'm risking, if the stop is 60 cents away, then I'll be risking $200 if I use 333 shares, something like that. But of course, sometimes I just double the 200 and double the shares, for a quick $400 stop loss. It really depends on what the chart looks like. Something like this, I'm at 50% of my my potential, because this is the first time I'm actually trading something that looks like that. Because back in a few years ago, I would look at this chart and I would say it looks like crap. But, lately, ever since I started this stream, every time I see a stock that breaks outside the VWAP band and comes back in, it tends to go pretty good. It has the potential to go, makes people think it may approach the VWAP itself. So how would I track the draw? If I were to use the intro package, I created this already. This will be the $14,000 buying power, and then from there, I would just say, okay, if there's a $700 draw and I'm at 90, usually generally at 90 percentile, I'm going to look for the most perfect trade, the best looking trade, and I'll never go past the $200 risk. That way, at least I can fail about 3.5 times, and still be in the game. That's ideal. So of course, even with a 90 percentile success rate, you can fail 3 times. You can fail 3.5 times, and you just wash out your intro account. In which case, I would probably want to buy it again, because chances of me failing 7 times that's not going to happen. Shouldn't jinx myself like that. But that's I can't even fathom that. Then I probably need to quit for a month just to see what happened. So, yeah. So generally, it's the same thing, except it limits the type of trades that I'm going to trade. I can't trade things that are over, say, if it's $70, that means I can only trade 200 shares. And if it's only 200 shares, it better have some extreme range, because otherwise, it's just a waste of your time and effort. But it just depends on how you see it, CJ. I hope that answered your question. I kind of just made that real long-winded, because I really don't know what's going to happen right now. But we'll see. I'll continue talking to them and see if they'll let me take the intro account. They do have something really interesting that they sent me when I was signing up for it. They have a competition. Let me find it for you. It's called the World Series of Day Trading, and anybody can sign up for it. So this is what they sent me here. So guys, if you ever try to email me, notice in my inbox I have over 1,000 I haven't read yet. Emails get lost with me. So first prize is access to a $240,000 funded account plus a $6,000 voucher. First runner-up, still a $240,000 funded account. And second runner-up, you still get the pro package. And all top 20 players get a package. That's pretty awesome. Now, the pro package at $240,000, That's some buying power there. So you could do some major damage. I mean, that's like, I don't know. You could, if you know what you're doing, and you won this challenge. So I'm actually very interested in that. I think I can I think I can possibly, you know, if the wind is right, I may be able to do something with it. Okay, I'm just talking too much. Yeah, Toma says MBTA. So does Turf. Oh, so does my trade ideas. There's some news there. Hey Mode, how often do you withdraw your profits? I generally don't. In my Lightspeed account, I'm pretty comfortable. If you're asking me about TradeNet, I don't have the TradeNet account yet. But if I did, um, I've had somebody suggest to pull out every month, which sounds about right. Say you spent $500 on the intro account, but with the promo code it should be 375. Let's just say for you spent 500. The first thing I would do is make 500 and then withdraw that just to break even, right? That makes sense. And then from there, everything else is profit. Profit or you blow up your account. So you paid for your tuition and you just try your best. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing. I should be looking at the daily here. Take out the VWAP. Honestly, when it comes to Rumpelstiltskin says, go for it. Yeah, I am. I think I am. But that requires me to actually buy something from them to be part of it. So I'm still negotiating the intro account because they don't want to give it to me. Um, but the possibilities of me winning is probably low, I think, because it really is a gamble. How are you going to identify who's the best? Oh, okay. I don't mean to say that I am the best, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really damn good. That if you could just be like Stephen Dukes and have a really good day, find the right stock that's and going with the trend, and just find that one stock in the morning that flies $10, and I can't beat that. I'm just I'm a slow grinder. I just slowly accumulate my profits, while those the people in the morning that catch something and catch the right one coincidentally many times over, they're gonna win. That's facts. That's a sad fact. I'm just not one of those. Nancy says, I don't understand why they won't give you the intro account. Me either. They knew who I am though. I'm from the YouTube. Because I had a TradeNet account back then when I had a chat room, and then I closed it, and now I'm coming back, but they don't want to give me the intro account. They just say, well, you did. When they're trying to talk to me, they said, you did so well, um, being an affiliate, selling the student account. You should be able to do it again. But I'm trying to tell them the whole idea is everybody still wants the intro account because no one wants to spend $3,000 right from the start. That's a lot of risk compared to just spending $375. Yeah, Dan. The contest is 6 days, Wednesday through Friday, and then Monday through Wednesday. So yeah, it doesn't prove anything. It just proves that You got really lucky. But I know for a fact, regardless if even if it was maybe a month, um, it well, a month would level things off. It would definitely level things off because then I would slowly grind towards the upper portion of the winners, I think. Whereas some people that choose the wrong gap play is going to lose quite a bit. Yeah, good point, Dan. I don't know where this one's going, but it does look good. I don't. I can't identify. I'm just not in the game right now. So I'm gonna end it here, guys. I'm just talking a lot. I think I spoke another 20 minutes past my trade. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow if I'm not too busy with Jesse. Take care, guys. Bye.